The mesmerizing night on April 13, 2016, was over, leaving this reporter to casually stroll through the bowels of Staples Center, with thoughts on how Kobe Bryant had captivated the sporting world one last time with a 60-point work of art. As he eased his way down the tunnel where the Lakers had parked their cars, I could see Bryant out of the corner of my eyes. He was smiling, laughing, enjoying time with his wife, Vanessa, family and friends who had come to see the master put a bow on a brilliant 20-year career. Not wanting to be a bother to Kobe, I continued to walk up the tunnel to head toward my car. But I changed my mind, made a U-turn and walked over to the area where Bryant was standing. Bryant saw me and called out, "Man, BT, get over here." We then both smiled and laughed, shaking our heads at each other. I had covered Kobe Bryant for his entire 20-year career with the Lakers, and now here we stood laughing like two giggly teenagers. We embraced. No, we hugged each other, a heartfelt hug, a hug of endearment and respect. The first thing out of my mouth over the next 10 minutes or so we spent together was, "Damn, Cobb. 60. Really? You just dropped a 60 piece in your last game. Come on, man." Bryant was wearing a Los Angeles Lakers sweatsuit, and all he could do was shake his head at what he had just done. There was a gleam in his eyes, but there were no words coming at all from him about this masterpiece. He did look at the suit I was wearing and said, "Boy, I see you're still the best damn dressed sports writer in America." "Well, Cobb, it's not like I have a lot of competition," I replied. "Have you seen how some of these writers dress?" "Facts, BT," he said in return. And then both of us laughed again. There was so much for us to talk about, and yet so much went unsaid. It was impossible to paint a picture of his defining career at that moment, so it was just two dudes talking a little about some of his former teammates, Shaq, Big Shot Rob, D. Fish, Foxy, Low, Metta, Pow. There was some reminiscing about his very first game with the Lakers, in the Summer Pro League at the Pyramid at Long Beach State. In looking back at that game later, it was the coming-out party for the 17-year-old Bryant and July 15, 1996, in a jammed-packed gym. He scored 27 points against the Detroit Pistons. I covered that game and was awestruck like everyone else. As we continued to reminisce, it wasn't long before Bryant asked if I had consumed any good wine lately. "Of course," I said. It was always fun talking to Bryant about some vino. I asked him if he remembered the time the Lakers were in Boston to play the Celtics and how a drunk fan was pestering him at the team's hotel bar. Bryant was watching a Duke, North Carolina game and really didn't want to be disturbed. A few reporters and support staff from the Lakers sat at another table not far from where Kobe was sitting.